From the Public Defender's Office. Okay. Thank you so much. Whoops. Okay, thanks. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Judge Kim Mullica. You're here today in First Appearance Magistrate Court. Today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything's being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero, I believe, at the main jail, and we have Mr. Reedy to my right, who will be here in one moment. We have Assistant State Attorney Eric Linder, and we have Lena Ramirez as our clerk today. When I call your name, if you have a private attorney, please let me know when you step up to the podium. First case we're going to call is Sabrina King, please.
North Broward, Ms. King would like to resolve this matter this morning.
Sure. Hello. Good morning, Mr. Deputy McCoy. Okay, that's fine. State, you have an offer?
Withholding court costs.
And she'll accept that, Judge.
And, Your Honor, while we're waiting for the deputy to bring Ms. King up, could we call a case at a turn after this
Sure,
case?
who do you want?
Time sensitive. Michael Siminoff.
Where is he?
He's housed at, in the docket or what
Yeah,
facility?
beginning, middle, or end?
Okay.
What you getting at? Let's see.
Criminal mischief.
Page 13.
Siminoff?
Yeah, he's housed at Maine. They might have pulled him from the room though.
What do you mean they might have pulled him from the room?
He posted bond, Your Honor, and I'm going to be, the alleged victim's present. I'm going to be making a request regarding release conditions, but not any type of request.
Mr. Siminoff is not here, Judge.
Not any kind of request regarding an increase in the bond.
Where is he?
Mr. Romero just stated he's not there.
He is at Maine. They probably pulled him, didn't bring him to the room because he posted bond. He's in custody because on a separate case, he was ordered a pretrial with the GPS. They probably haven't fixed the monitor yet. I'm going to be asking, that's why I'm just asking if the court would at least hear the state on this matter.
Yeah, let him bring him back. He's still in custody.
Oh, you bonded,
We're
Judge.
not seeking violation.
Doesn't matter. I want him called back. Is that what you want?
Yes, please.
All right, we're going to North Broward. Sabrina King. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning.
All right, Ms. King, you have a capious misdemeanor for possession of cannabis under 20 grams. The state is offering you a withhold of adjudication, which means no conviction, and court costs of $308. I'll give you 6 months to pay. Partial payments are accepted. If you don't make the payment within 6 months, they suspend your driver's license, a $25 late fee, and it'll affect your credit. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough of time to talk to your attorney, Mr. Reedy, who's in the courtroom with me? You talk to her?
Yes.
Mr. Reedy?
Yes, we've had plenty of time to talk,
Okay,
Judge.
all right. Just wanted to make sure. All right, ma'am, so how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to possession of marijuana under 20 grams?
No contest.
All right. Withhold, court costs, 308, 6 months to pay.
Okay.
Partial payments accepted. Court takes... Pardon, ma'am?
Is that the bond out? No. So I'm done.
No, you don't have to bond out. The case is over. You just have to pay your court costs.
Is that
So
what
I'll
you...
go
Do you
home
want to
today.
come back and fight your case, or do you want to get rid
No,
of it
no,
today?
no. So
Okay.
I'll go home today?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
But hold on a second. If you want to fight your case, don't...
No, I don't want to fight.
Let me
I
finish the
don't.
question, because I just want to make sure we're clear. If you want to be released and get out of jail today, I'll release you. And you can come back and fight your charge, or you can resolve it. I don't want you to resolve it just because you can't afford to get out of jail.
Right.
So which would you like to do? Resolve it, or come back and fight it and get out of jail today?
I want to resolve it
Today?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure. So court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Sabrina.
All right, let me know when Mikhail Siminoff gets back. Chiquita McFadden,
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan.
All right, Your Honor.
Sorry, I thought I hit it. Okay. Good morning, ma'am. You have retail theft, $300+, coordinate with others. It's an ad charge, $1,000 bond. Court's going to order no return, ma'am, to the Publix at 2633 North Dixie Highway in Wilton Manors. And okay, thought this was another case. All right, so no return to the Publix, ma'am. Bond set at $1,000. Court finds probable cause. What say you, Mr. Reedy?
Judge, I'd ask for a $100 bond. Ms. McFadden has a no bond violation of probation hold.
State?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, for accounting purposes, I'm not gonna do it for, and you know what I mean by accounting purposes. I'll do it at $99, okay? This way I'll know
That's
she has a
fine.
no bond hold. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
All right, I believe Mr. Simonoff is back at me.
Okay, main jail, Mr. Simonoff. Mikhail Simonoff, please. Good morning, sir. All right, Mr. Simonoff, you have petty theft, second degree, first offense, $25 is the standard bond. Criminal mischief over $1,000, $500 bond. You do have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. It's actually not for magistrate. Your division judge set bond at an ROR, and then illegal use of a credit card more than 2 times in 6 months. Goods $100+ is also not for a magistrate court. I'm just letting you know you ROR'd on that. And then you have count 5, petty theft, second degree, first offense is no charge. You are going before your division judge. I don't know if he's still going to have it, but you have a hearing tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. with Judge Merrigan, no?
And that's the problem with the administrative order, the way it's written. He really shouldn't be. He saw him, I believe, yesterday.
Then that's fine. I know for misdemeanor court, they cancel it out, they don't come to court. But I didn't know if it followed the same for felony, so it's up to him to find out.
Sure.
So the court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, my understanding, Mr. Simonoff has posted his bonds on counts 1 and 2. I'm not going to make any requests regarding his bond amounts.
Okay.
I am going to be making a request with regards to additional release conditions on counts 1 and 2.
Okay.
I'm going to be requesting an order of no victim contact, and I'm also going to be requesting that he be supervised on these counts, along with charges 3 and 4, with pretrial release.
Okay, I'm not gonna touch anything with 3 and 4
No,
because
no.
it's actually not for magistrate.
I'm not asking you to touch you. I'm letting the court know that he was placed on pretrial with a GPS on 3 and 4.
Okay, I
So I'm
get it.
asking for the same release conditions on 1 and 2.
Okay,
Your Honor, standing before the court is Mo Atabani. He's the listed victim.
good morning, sir, how are you?
He's the listed victim on count 1. The theft, the listed victim, or the 2 thefts. The listed victim on the criminal mischief is his cousin, whose car was damaged in the parking lot of his shop. So I believe Mr. Atanabe wants to address the court, but I can let the court know he does have concerns for his well-being, his family's safety and well-being, and just the safety of his shop, his business.
Okay, give me one moment. So you're asking for no victim contact, no return
Yes, ma'am.
to the Tasty Joint Smoke Shop.
GPS level 2 with a distance requirement both for his residence, which I've spoken with him. He'll provide pretrial with that information while he's in court today, if the court's inclined to order it, and also a distance requirement for his shop where the address is listed on the probable cause affidavit.
Let me see where the shop is. It's on Main Road.
It's
So what are the cross streets? Is it,
well,
It's 110 South Federal Highway, which is 1 block south of Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano.
so it's Atlantic and Federal?
Yes, ma'am.
And your client lives in Deerfield? Does he work where does he work? Anywhere? Any reason to be by Federal and Atlantic is my question.
He has no business being on Federal and Atlantic, Judge.
Okay. Okay, what say you, defense?
At this time, he posted bond, nothing more to add from the defense point of view.
Is there anything you'd like to add, sir? You don't have to. I'm just asking, is there anything else you'd like to add? Can you speak in the mic, because we have to make
Yes,
sure.
ma'am. We caught him stealing twice in 2 days in a row, and we kicked him out of the store. He went to the back and threw a big rock on the back windshield of brand new Mercedes. Cost us $1,700 for nothing. We didn't do anything wrong with him except kicked him out. So we are really afraid of him to come at all to that area.
Okay. All right, so with the courts, anything further from the defense or state?
Nothing further from the state.
All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with MA and minimum of 1,000 feet distance. No return to the Tasty Joint Smoke Shop located at 110 South Federal Highway in Pompano Beach, Florida. And I want him to maintain a minimum of 1,000 feet. GPS level 2, I'll leave the bonds in place. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Patrice, do you need to speak to this victim? Oh, I didn't hear that. All right, so, oh, okay, I didn't hear that, I'm sorry. I was reading. Okay, no problem. Okay. Hi, how you doing?
You ready?
Yeah,
On page 10 of your docket, Michael Boniford,
B,
Bonforte.
Copy.
did you have an opportunity to talk to him? Do you need to
Yeah,
talk to
Judge,
him?
I'm currently representing him on 3 pending cases. This was one of them. I think it was just an ad charge.
Okay,
So I don't think there's anything that changes.
all right,
He's
you're
in
gonna have
s-
to do this sign-in sheet even though you're
No
up there.
problem. Okay. By the
Okay.
way, he's in the SAP program. He's doing well. He's going to
Good.
be finishing up next, about 2 weeks.
Good,
And then we have a court date in front of Judge Merrigan to get him into a halfway house.
oh, good.
So I think this is just an ad charge.
Yeah, these are actually 2 ad charges, false ownership info, pawn item,
Okay.
second degree,
Okay.
and it's a felony. False ownership info, pawn item, third degree. It does say SAP program on here. Court does find probable cause, bond set at 3,500 and 1,000. Court finds probable cause, obviously. We're only here on 5 and 6. So he has count 2 is a change of charge, which is the dealing in stolen property. And then he has counts 3 and 4, which are the ad charges.
Okay.
State, what say you with regard to bond? What's his other bonds?
There are 1, 2, 3.
He's not in a position right now to post bond. Eventually, what we're going to wind up is on pretrial with Judge Merrigan once he finishes the SAP
Do
program.
you want to address the bond so you don't have to? With
That would
these
be
on
great.
these?
Yeah, you could address them.
Your Honor, he has $6,500 in other bonds. Since he's seeing Judge Merrigan already anyways, I just asked that the bonds be left in place.
That's fine.
Okay. 3,500 and 1,000.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
Michael,
luck to
finish
you.
up and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you, Judge. Have a good one.
You too. Don't forget to fill out the paperwork.
Thank you, Judge, I did.
Mr. Coffey,
signed it.
okay, thanks. Mavis Johnson,
Paul Ryan?
Paul Ryan, thank you. Okay, Ms. Johnson, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. This is an ad charge. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials JAS. And the court's also gonna order no return. Oh, can I have that paperwork back if I didn't, Madam Clerk? On the one did I do no return?
No, but I can write it down for you.
Okay, did you see that? Or it was the one before it, yeah.
You mean Michael, the last one we just did?
Yeah, let me just see this. No, the one with the, sorry. The Tasty Joint Smoke Shop or something. Can I stand it? Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, and no return to the Publix located at 1700 Sheridan Street, Hollywood, Florida. The court does find probable cause. What does she have state for counts 1 through 7?
She's on a pretrial release with a GPS monitor. She's asked me to ask the court to leave the bond in place. She's in a program in the jail and would like to finish that program.
Your Honor, you may recall Ms. Johnson appeared before the court last week on an arrest warrant with multiple charges, including similar allegations. I'm not asking for a bond modification, but I am going to ask you place her on pretrial with the GPS and all her other counts. I'm just asking that she be placed on those release conditions as well on this count.
She doesn't want to be released, Judge.
I do.
All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials JAS. No return to public, GPS level 2. We'll keep the bond at $1,000. Thank you. Alexia Hunter, please.
Ms. Hunter, come on up, please. She's here at Main.
Main jail, thank you. Okay, Ms. Hunter, you have drug paraphernalia, possess and or use, $100 bond. Counts 2, 3, and 4 are actually, you have no bond holds, are not for magistrate. Count 5 is a capious misdemeanor with a $1,500 bond. Says that you're going before your division judge, Michelle Tobin Singer, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. I guess that's on the capious felonies. So total bond for today is $1,600, not including the no bond hold. It says that you were a no-show at a status October 22nd. Does she want to resolve, or we can't resolve the battery? So I'll tell you what, the drug paraphernalia, I'll ROR or $1?
$1, Judge.
I'll do $1, and the battery I'll leave in place. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Yvonne Rose, please.
Yes, hi. Good morning.
Where are you? North Broward.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, ma'am. You have petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense. So it's being charged as a felony, $750 bond. Count 2 is a larceny, $300, between $300 and $10,000 from a person 65 years of age or older, $1,000 bond. Counts 3 and 4 are false owner info for pawn items less than $300, $1,000 bond each. And count 5 is a no bond hold for a misdemeanor.
It should be 500.
Give me one moment, let me finish.
Sure.
No bond hold for unnatural lascivious act, $500 bond, set by,
Hollywood.
yes, I know, by, who is SB? Is that
Judge Miller.
set by Judge Miller. The court does find probable cause.
Is there any way that I
Hold
could,
on, ma'am. Someone wanted to say something over here? 500? Okay. So, I'm sorry, I apologize. They just corrected me on the paperwork. It's incorrect here. It says no bond. However,
It's
it's
fine.
$500. So the total is $37.50, so $42.50 if my math is correct. Court
Okay.
is gonna order no contact with the alleged victim with the initials PGD.
Right.
And no return to 7980 Hampton Boulevard, North Lauderdale.
Okay. Can I, say something, ma'am?
We
I
have
wouldn't.
Mr. Reedy who, hold on a second, you can say something, but I just want to tell you, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. And you have an attorney, Mr. Reedy, here in court, who
Okay.
can, speak for you today.
Okay,
So,
thank
do you
you.
want to go forward and say something to me, or do you want to allow
Yeah,
your
I
attorney
just
to
want-
do it?
I have 2 children. They're in daycare. I couldn't get to them yesterday, so I got to the daycare center, and she is willing to hold them for the night. I work. I sell health insurance. If I could fight this on the outside, if you could ROR me, I have no family. I'm just a single mother right now. I'm doing the best I can. I work with ER insurance. I sell health insurance. I've been with them a year and a half. My boss is Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed. I'm sorry, but I just don't have anybody to bond me out. And if I could fight this on the, if I could get it ROR, I really need to get back to work and get my children. I have family I have my sister in Hollywood, but she's younger than me. She doesn't have money to be able to bond me out. Could go there with my children.
Judge, Ms. Dura has been living here in South Florida since 2001.
I was
She's
actually
been
born in
living in the
Miami.
same residence for the last 7 months. She did indicate to me that she's had a job selling insurance for the last year and a half.
Yes.
She's a high school graduate. She did provide me with the name of a friend of hers who might be able to come up with some money, but she does not believe he's going to be able to come up with the amount of bond that's listed here. I'd ask the court to consider pretrial release for Ms. Dura.
Or ROR, please.
I would object. She's not a good candidate for pretrial. She had a 2015 aggravated assault with deadly weapon. She violated pretrial 3 times on that case. Twice she was sent to First Step Sober House, and she was not compliant on 2 occasions and was kicked out. The third time, she was put.
I did 2 years.
The third time.
I was clean and
Hold
sober.
on, Ms. Dura.
Ma'am, we only allow one person to talk. No one interrupted you. Go ahead.
The third time she was put on an ankle monitor, and she rendered it inoperable, and her whereabouts were unknown until she was taken into custody on the warrant. She also has 2017 possession of drug paraphernalia, 2013 uttering a forged instrument, possession of cocaine and theft, where she violated probation, theft 09, possession of alprazolam with a VOP 04, possession of oxycodone, alprazolam, unlawful use of false name ID 06. She has 3 prior failures to appear, and I would also note in this case, just noting the age of the alleged victim that she stole from, also
84.
indicating that she had full knowledge of his age when she stole from him.
Your Honor, I've been clean for two years. I do have a past, yes, but I changed my life, and half of those things weren't even, like, that aggravated assault wasn't even true. That didn't even happen. I just wanted to get out of jail, and that was just like, and it didn't even happen. And I do have a past, but I changed my life. I have 2 children. I've been clean and sober for 2 years. I did have a little bit of a relapse, but I'm back. I go to meetings. I have a sponsor. I'm in the program of AA. I changed my life. Like, I'm willing, please, like, I'm just really concerned about my children.
It says here in the probable cause affidavit, Mr. Reedy, that your client admitted to doing this to take advantage of this 84-year-old to fuel her drug habit. And the alleged incident is obviously December 4th. It's not from a year ago.
Yes, Your Honor, I read the probable cause
say you?
affidavit. Well, she's not going to be able to make that monetary bond, Judge. If the court's not inclined to put her on pretrial release, I'd ask the court to consider reducing the bond substantially so maybe her friend can bond her out.
ROR, ma'am, please. I have 2 children that I'm thinking of.
I'm not going to ROR you, ma'am. I'll let you know that right now.
And ma'am, this was like a
Hold
love
on, Ms.
triangle.
Dura.
And so
You're not
I was
helping
dating
yourself.
this man. You know, I was dating this man, and it's not. And he.
Ms. Dura, do not discuss the facts of the case.
Okay, on the petty theft, I'll do an ROR. On count 2, I'm going to leave it at 1,000. 3 at 1,000. 4, I'll do an ROR. 5, I'm going to leave at 500. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim. PGD, no return to the Hampton Boulevard address. GPS level 2, no alcohol, intoxicants, random testing at your expense. Prescription meds allowed as prescribed. Thank you, ma'am. The bond has to be paid first of $2,500 before you'll be fitted for a GPS. No, just new charges. Yep. Thank you. Cabrina Battle. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's here, present judge at Maine.
Okay, Ms. Battle, you have criminal mischief over $1,000, $500 bond, disorderly conduct, breach of the peace, $25 bond, and misuse of 911 or E911 system cost over $100, $1,000 bond. Your total bond is $1,525. Court does find probable cause. Court's also going to order no return to the West Side Market at 1029 West Las Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. If you go back there, you will be arrested. What say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking with Ms. Battle, I did tell her that was going to be one of the conditions. She told me that's not going to be a problem as far as adhering to that condition, no return. She is a single mother raising her 5 children, Judge. She's 38 years old. She's been living in our community for the past 15 years. Judge, what we're going to be asking for is not to have her released outright on ROR, but rather on a bond reduction. We're going to be asking for count 1 for the court to consider an ROR, on count 2 an ROR, and leave the standard bond in place on count 3. She's going to get in touch with her husband and see if he can go ahead and post that monetary bond, Judge. So that's what the defense is asking for at this time.
What say you, defense? I mean, state.
I don't have an objection, Judge.
Okay, so standard,
Just,
What'd you say?
just 1,000 on 3 is what the defense is asking for, I believe.
okay, ROR on 1, ROR on 2. Sorry, I was gonna put her on standard, so. All right, no return to West Side Market, ma'am, thank you. You have to report within, oh no, no reporting. Marilee Bermudez.
Ms. Bermudez is here at Maine. Come on up, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Bermudez, you have capious misdemeanor, $500 bond. That's for possession of cannabis under 20 grams. You also have 2 capious felonies that are not for magistrate. You are going before your division judge, Judge Michael Usan, tomorrow. The no bond holds are for 2 grand theft autos, no show at arraignment, October 16th. What say you, defense? Does she want to resolve?
No, just consider she has a no bond hold, nothing to add. She'll be seeing her judge tomorrow.
All right, so we'll leave the capious felony at, the capious misdemeanor at 500. We got to make sure she gets before her division judge. They have to set it, I guess, before Judge Pohl tomorrow. The capious misdemeanor. So it wouldn't be tomorrow, it would be the next day, because the felonies come first and then the misdemeanors. But it has to get, yeah. Louisiana, Eugene,
She bonded, Judge?
bonded. Unless you assign it and then you find out who the division judge is and you send it to them. However it is, you do it. Sunday, Olukunal.
Yes, Your Honor. He's here present, Judge at Maine.
Good morning, sir. You have petty from a merchant's second offense, $25. You have a capious misdemeanor for $50.
That's an MO on count 2, Judge.
Is anybody appointed in that case?
Sure.
Does he want to resolve his case today?
In speaking to him, in reference to count 1, Judge, I talked to him, he said he wanted to resolve the case.
I'm not showing that any, Your Honor, I'm unable to make an offer to, never mind. Never mind, I confused this with another case. I don't believe anyone's appointed on count 2. It was originally an NTA.
I see.
As far as an offer on count 1,
You're welcome.
would be an adjudication time served, no return.
Sorry, say,
Adjudication time served, no return to this Walmart.
Judge, he wishes to accept the say so.
all right, sir, so here's what we can do on the open container charge. If you want, the public defender can't represent you on that. However, I can appoint Mr. Shate, who comes in around 10 o'clock. So we can recall your case, or you can waive your right to an attorney, which I'm not suggesting that you should, but if you do, then I'll give you a withhold of adjudication, which means no conviction, and court costs of $78, and that's just on the open container. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
I swear.
Okay, put your hand down. Is your name Sunday? And I'll spell your last name Olukunle.
Correct, Your
All
Honor.
right, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, who's standing next to you, that you want to give up all your rights to a trial in your petty from merchant, second offense. I don't know why they don't call it petty theft. Is that what you want to do, sir? You want to resolve it? Give up all your rights?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
All right, you want to waive your right to an attorney in the open container case, which is case number 183922 MO40A. Want to give up your right to an attorney in that case, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
Okay. You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to these charges could result in deportation proceedings and affect your ability to remain in the United States.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. So you still feel it's in your best interest to plead no contest to these two charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for both pleas, adjudication time served on the petty theft from a merchant, second offense, and the capious misdemeanor for the open container MO case, withhold, and court costs. The court costs on the petty theft is $298, $78 on the MO case. 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted, no return service, Walmart. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Thank you, good luck to you. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Good luck. Terrence Etheridge.
Mr. Etheridge is approaching, Judge.
Mr. Etheridge, you have 2 capious traffics, which is driving while license is suspended, driving while license is suspended. You failed to appear on March 13th, 2018, and on or about June 4th, 2018. Court finds probable cause for his arrest. It's going before his division judge, Division MT, at 9 a.m. What say you, Mr.
Judge, in speaking
Romero?
with Mr. Etheridge, just to resolve both matters today.
All right, did you speak to him about if he gets 3 driving while licenses suspended within a 5-year period,
These
the
will,
Driver's License Bureau will revoke his license? This is the third?
if he pleads both of these out, it could habitualize him. It would be.
Okay, it'll probably habitualize him if he does, and if he's caught driving during that time, that means that he'll be charged with a felony. Did you?
I have advised him, Judge.
All right, what's your offer?
Adjudication time served on each count.
Okay, adjudication time served, $293 in court costs. Is that what he wants to do, Mr. Romero?
He wishes to accept the
All right,
state's
raise your
offer.
right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Terrence Etheridge, Ethridge?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Etheridge, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, want to give up all your rights to a trial in these 2 cases, sir?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
All right, you understand that if you can't afford to bond out of jail today, we can talk about releasing you on pretrial supervision. And in other words, I don't want you to feel like you have to admit to these charges in order to get out of jail. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, keeping that in mind, do you want to plead guilty, not guilty, no contest to driving while license is suspended?
No contest.
And you understand, sir, that the Driver's License Bureau is most likely going to revoke your driver's license for 5 years as a habitual traffic offender. And if you drive during that time, sir, then you're going to be charged with a felony. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Considering all of that, how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to 2 counts of driving while license is suspended.
No contest.
And you've had enough of time to speak to your attorney, Mr. Romero?
Yes.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Adjudication time served each count, $293 in court costs each count. Give you 6 months to pay. Partial payments are accepted. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, sir, one will be appointed. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Good luck, sir.
Samej Lamont Knowles, please.
Mr. Knowles is approaching. He's here at Main, Judge.
All right, good morning, Mr. Knowles.
Morning, ma'am.
You have trespass property, not a structure or conveyance. Court does find probable cause. It says on the above date and time the defendant was observed once again trespassing. Should be noted the defendant was arrested on 11/25/18. So he keeps going to this Walgreens Pharmacy, 202 South Federal Highway, Dania Beach. Bond is set at $25. Does he want to resolve it today?
He does, Judge.
What's your offer, State?
Your Honor, the offer's 10 days, Your Honor. He just got released from custody last Tuesday for the trespass you mentioned at the same location. He has pled out 6 trespasses this year.
All right, 10 days, Broward County Jail. Think that's reasonable.
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Knowles, he does wish to resolve it. However, what he wants for mitigation purposes, he was at the bus bench, catching a bus, not in the actual, I guess, store. Considering that, Your Honor, would the court consider getting involved and extend an offer of time served on Mr. Knowles' behalf?
No. I told him not to go back there, or a judge did, so he's not supposed to go back there.
Your Honor, just so you know, you pled him out last time. So.
Judge, he's insisting that he was at the bus bench and not at the property. You got bus benches all over that motherfucker.
All right, it's gonna be 10 days, Broward County Jail. Does he want it or not?
Judge, respectfully, Mr. Knowles is going to decline the state's offer. What we're going to be asking, considering the trespass and the mitigation, he was at a bus bench. Would Your Honor consider an ROR so then he could have his day in court and address this issue?
No, I'm gonna do standard pretrial supervision. And he's gonna have to call in 4 times a week, report once a month.
Judge, he wants me to inform the court that he's homeless.
I don't know what to say. So that's what I'm gonna do. Standard pretrial. And if he doesn't do it, then someone's gonna possibly revoke his bond or do a high bond and he could sit in jail.
No problem, Judge. There's the map, sir. You have to report there, sir, okay? I will. No, you don't have to post a bond.
Okay, sir, I want you to pay attention to me. No return to this Walgreens. That includes that bus stop. Go find another bus stop. And I'm gonna write it down here. No bus stop. No parking lot, no curtilage of the property, okay? Standard pretrial supervision, call in 4 times a week, report once a month. You shouldn't have a problem since you were taking the bus, so you know the bus system. And that's it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Luis Capgay.
North Broward is called, asking if a case could be called out of turn.
Sure, why?
Medical reasons.
Okay. What's the name?
Barrett Robbins, he's on page 17.
So, how many more down?
We're on page 6, so
Okay.
it's
Capgay?
kind of close to the end of the docket, actually, just a few cases from the end.
All right, so I'll go from the back. KAP?
Page 17.
Mr. Reedy?
I'm sorry?
KAP? How do you spell it?
Oh, Robbins.
Robbins. Barrett Glenn, page 17.
That's correct.
North Broward. All right, are you Barrett Robbins, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, drug paraphernalia, possess and or use. Court does find probable cause. What's his prior history like, State?
One moment, Judge. Dade County, a 2005 battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence. So released, sentenced to 5-year state prison, released in 2012. I'm showing priors out of California. Reckless driving, that was in 2015. Disorderly conduct, 2004. Out of the state of Utah.
So the last one was for when? What year?
I've got to go through all these states.
No, the last one.
Oh, in California? Last prior was 2000.
No, the most immediate arrest that he's had.
Yeah, so I got to check through. I'm getting a hit out of Texas, so I have to see if there's something
Oh, I
more
see,
recent
okay.
there. And criminal mischief, 2014 in Texas, so it looks like it's 2015. Well, he has a felony battery due to priors, 2 counts, 2016 out of Boca. That would be his most recent prior. 2015 theft out of Boynton Beach, trespass 2015 out of Palm Beach.
You see any hits for any warrants from any other state?
I'm not showing any active warrants, Judge.
Okay. Where do you live, sir?
I'm in between spots right now. I came here trying to get recovery, and the last place I was staying was Boca House recovery. I've been in a hotel since then.
Can you afford the $1,000 bond? Can you afford $100?
I might have to call somebody on that, but
There are some numbers Mr. Robbins gave me that I can call, but based on my conversation with him, I'm not sure either of us were all that optimistic that anyone's going to be able to come up with the money to bond him out.
Can you go back to this program?
Barry, can you go back to Boca House? Will they take you back?
yeah, they take me back to Boca House.
Do you know
I'm sure they would.
Do you know the address?
321 West Camino Real.
I'd ask the court to consider releasing Mr. Robbins on pretrial release.
State?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay, sir, I'm going to put you on standard pretrial supervision. Deputy's giving you a map. You have to report within 24 hours of your release. If you don't, there'll be a warrant issued for your arrest. I'm going to have you call in. I'll give them the option of calling in 7 days a week.
I don't think this is the right thing for me to do, given my circumstances, and I just don't think it's the right thing for me to do.
All
I
right,
think it
you
might
know
be.
what? I respect that, and I'm glad that you're telling me. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave a $1,000 bond. Call somebody, tell them to contact a bondsman. They'll probably just require that you pay 10%. Okay, sir?
Okay.
But here's
Yes,
the
sir.
thing.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
have a mailing address here, so you're not going to be able to get notice. Is there somebody, even out of state, that we can change your address? Do you have a relative or somebody? If you don't, that's okay. You can
I
always
don't.
you can always go to the public library and you can go to the public library and look online. Go to browardclerk.org.
Okay.
All right, but I just want you to know, instead of a $1,000 bond, I was going to offer you the option. You just report the first time in 24 hours, and after that, I was just going to have you call in every day in the morning. Just call and leave a message.
I think it's best if I see it.
Okay, $1,000 bond. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, good luck, Barrett.
Luis Capgang.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe you want to find him James Club or something. Luis Capgang, please. Good morning, sir. You have trespass failure.
Judge, he's here at Maine, and he declined to serve as a public defender. I think he just wants to handle this on his own, so.
All right, that's fine. All right, Mr. Capgang, you want to waive your right to an attorney? You understand that if you can't afford one, you can fill out an application for the public defender and use their services?
If I can help, I'm not going to deny helping out if you want me to.
I can't hear you, sir.
If you want me to help, I don't need a public defender. I can defend myself.
Okay, so you're charged with trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner, $25 bond.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Hold on.
Captain Blues, not Captain Pembroke Police Department.
Sir, I can't hear a thing you're saying. You're either going to have to go closer to the podium or talk louder.
I'm Captain Luz Bernard Captain, Pembroke Police Department, crime detective. And myself, Senator Republican Senator Luz B. Captain. Senator Luz B. Captain.
All right, so
now the police officer who grabbed me on the public place is talking about the crowd, community transparency. I don't know how would that be possible.
all right, is this a Judge Wren referral?
He
Or
went,
is it just a
well,
language barrier?
I don't know, Your Honor. What I can tell you
Some judge, he said
is
he's fluent in English. I told him we have many interpreters, and then he said no thank you to my services.
Your Honor, I can tell you he had a trespass last year, that the case was transferred to Judge Lerner Wren. She ended up recusing herself and sending it to another division.
Do you have a consent to Ms. Tim? No, it wasn't back yet. I want to make sure that it's a criminal transparency or not a criminal transparency.
And what happened with that case?
Pled out. Yeah, it looks like I'm reading a
I cannot hear him at all for some reason. All right, everybody at the main jail is going to have to not talk for a moment. I can't hear this gentleman. Go ahead.
Captain Luz Bernard Captain, crime detective, Pembroke Police Department. You get Senator Luz Bernard Captain.
Sir, what language do you speak?
No, I think you guys are listening. You understand what I'm saying, right? I don't know. I don't speak other languages.
What language did you learn when you grew up?
The English language.
English in Africa, you learned? You don't speak another language?
I speak.
That's fine. I'm just trying to figure it out if you have another language.
No, I don't have any other languages.
All right. So you say your name is Captain?
Luz B. Captain. Captain Luz B. Captain, Pembroke Police Department. Crime Detective Department. I'm Republican Senator B. Captain as well.
Honor, if it assists, I can tell you I'm reviewing the case I told you about. 19-page transcript was entered into Odyssey, and it appears he was at points he was communicating with the court. There was not an interpreter present at the time. I don't know.
Okay, so then we solved that. All right, well, court's going to find probable cause for trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner. It says he was issued a permanent trespass warning, sir, on December 30th, 2017. And let me just tell you, sir, by representing yourself, one of the difficult things about it is that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. Today's not your trial day. It's just for probable cause. I found it, and it appears on its face that you were issued a permanent trespass warning and you were back at that shopping plaza after being issued a trespass warning. So it says you were laying down behind the business, and this is at, what time of the day is this? Let's see. At 10:23 a.m. Between 10 and 10:30 approximately. So what say you, State?
And Your Honor, I can also advise the court. I reviewed the transcript. He didn't want to participate in mental health court, and he, in that case as well, he did not desire the services of the public defender. Your Honor, my offer at this time would be an adjudication time served, and that would be because I'm noting that the trespass warning was almost a year ago.
Okay. All right, I'll try to do a plea. If I can't, then he's just gonna have to wait and go to a regular division. So, sir, do you want to resolve your case today for an adjudication and time served? No, don't tell him to say yes. I want to make sure that he understands it.
I'm pleading for non guilty.
You're what?
I'm pleading for a non guilty.
All right, I'm going to leave his bond at $25, no return to 833 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines, Florida. And you know what? I'll tell you what, I'm going to refer it again to Judge Wren.
I'd ask you to appoint our office judge. We have represented Mr. Kapang in the past.
Do you agree it to go to mental, I mean, I don't have a problem with that,
There was an MHC case in 2017, a trespass, which may be the first one on this, and a burglary as well in 2017, which was no info.
I'm just noting the 2017 case. My understanding was that's the case where he specifically said he doesn't want to be represented by the public defender.
You know what, though? I determined it's not a language barrier. I thought maybe that was. I thought maybe English was his second language, but he's indicated to me no, it's his first language. So I'm going to appoint the public defender. If they want to withdraw, they can. I am going to refer this to Judge Wren and let Judge Wren decide what to do because I just think it's the more prudent thing to do. Would you agree, Mr. Romero?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Pardon? Yes. All right, you'll see Judge Wren probably tomorrow, sir. Good luck to you.
No, that I get.
Paul Muo. Which case are you here on? Did you sign in? You did? Do you have that sheet? She's on page 8. Okay. Paul Muo.
If it's Paul Muo, M-U-O, it's
Yeah.
bonded, Judge. M-U, bonded.
Thank you, Mr. Romero. Court finds probable cause. Frantel Colson.
Mr. Colson is approaching, Judge. He's here on me.
All right, Mr. Colson, you have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond, count 2, driving with a suspended revoked license, no bond required, and failure to wear a safety belt. Court finds probable cause. What say you, Mr. Romero.
We're gonna be asking for an ROR, see if the state has an objection on the possession of cannabis.
Your Honor, I'd be asking for at least pretrial supervision. Mr. Colson he's registered.
$100 bond or pretrial?
Let me ask him.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, thank you for the option. We're gonna go with the monetary bond, $100.
Can I see Cap Gang? Can I ask you why you put he's in Division MP?
That was the original
Because he was just
position
arrested.
on that case number 18011765.
Yeah.
He's on Division MP.
They signed it already.
Okay. I'm gonna put MPNN, MN. Just for clarification so they know. Thank you. All right. What'd you say, Mr. Romero?
$100 bond.
$100, thank you. Tashami Gardner, please.
Mr. Gardner, come on up.
Okay, Mr. Gardner, you're going tomorrow before Judge Mindy Brown for a violation of probation at 9 a.m. $1,000 bond on that. There's a capious misdemeanor, $500 bond for using unlawful use of false name ID. You no-showed at arraignment on 9/5/18. While you were on probation, it appears. You had a DUI. Court finds probable cause, total bonds $1,500. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Hugo Smith. Let me know if he has any prior state.
Come on up, Mr. Smith. Be careful, sir.
Morning, Mr. Smith. You have DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense, $500 bond. Count 2 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. Court finds probable cause. What's his prior state?
Just traffic-related priors, Your Honor.
All right, court will ROR him. Show up to court, sir. Thank you. Jeffrey Spencer.
Mr. Spencer, come on up, please.
Morning, Mr. Spencer. You have touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. What's your client's address?
It's in Pompano Beach. The exact address,
I don't know the number. I just moved there recently.
he doesn't have the exact address memorized, Judge, but my understanding is potentially, I believe, hold on one moment, let me just make sure.
Well, here's the thing. It appears he's living in an assisted living facility.
Correct. My understanding is the person that also, a gentleman or other person that got into this altercation with Mr. Spencer lives in the complex. My understanding is 72 apartments in this facility. So I did advise him most likely the court's going to impose a no contact order. At this time, Judge, from what he advised me, there's no reason that he's going to be seeing the person. So.
What about in the dining room?
Exactly.
That's where this happened. So, you know, unless you can tell me otherwise, I'm going to order no victim contact and no return. So he's going to have, and I'm going to allow him to go back there one time unless someone tells me that the facility can keep them separated and they agree, and this victim.
Judge, I'm trying to get information as far as the dining situation. From what he advised me, there's two dining areas. One's the lower, one's the upper dining room.
That's what it was. Separate. One's in the back.
Okay.
Mr. Reedy, you're going to have to call up this place and find out what.
Because even if there's two different dining rooms, there's clearly
All right,
common
let's
areas.
reset it to 1 p.m. Thank you, sir. Shadane Beckford, just want to keep it moving. Shadane Beckford.
He's here.
All right, you have a KPS traffic $500 bond, driving while license is suspended. Failure to appear November 14th, 2018. Court finds probable cause. What say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, we're gonna be asking the court to consider resolving this matter today.
Documented offer from October 2nd of this year is a withholding court cost. I believe this will be his second, Your Honor. Or as of October 2nd, it would have been his second. I don't know if he pled out anything since then. He would know that, though.
He wishes to accept the state's offer.
All right, sir, how do you want to plead? All right, withhold court cost $293, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Court takes judicial notice of the time that he served in the Broward County Jail. Thank you. Joseph Dormalis.
Is here present, Judge at Maine.
Mr. Dormalis, you have trespassing, occupied structure, or conveyance. Court finds probable cause. Bond set at $100. Court's going to order no return to the 44th Street Coin Laundry. You understand if you go back there, sir, you will be arrested. It's located at 560 Northeast 44th Street in Deerfield Beach. You're going to have to find another laundromat.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he want to resolve his case today?
No, Judge, we're going to be asking for an ROR on Mr. Dormalis' behalf.
Okay, just to let you know, he was trespassed the previous night, and the owner of the business has surveillance there. So I'm just letting you know. What's your position, State?
That's fine, Judge, as long as he doesn't go back there.
No return, sir. Just letting you know there's surveillance there. Thank you. How about Robert Brisbois?
He's here present, Judge at Maine.
Hold on. ROR.
Hold on.
Could you just hold on to this on the side? Or?
Put it by the, yeah. Too much stuff. I'm confused.
Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Brisbois, how you feeling, sir?
I'm okay.
All right. So you have two capious misdemeanors. $250 bond on each one. One's disorderly conduct, the other one's failure to obey an officer. Does he want to resolve his cases today? Or does he want to fight them?
He wants to fight him, Judge.
Pardon?
What is the resolve? Well, I mean, you say resolve, you're not offering anything.
I don't offer anything, sir. I get a plea offer from the state attorney. If you want to reset him for this afternoon.
No, Judge. He would like to know what would be the plea offer from the state.
I just need one moment, Your Honor, to check something.
I just want to make sure, Mr. Romero, that you can tell me as an officer of the court that you don't think he's under the influence of anything. Okay.
He's advised me no, Judge.
The offer would be withhold court costs on both counts.
What was it, Mr. Lender?
Withholding court costs on both counts.
Judge, he wishes to accept the state's offer.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
State your first and last name.
Robert Brisbois.
Brisebois?
Correct.
It's my understanding, Mr. Brisbois, you want to resolve your case today? Give up all your rights to a trial?
May as well.
Well, it has to be yes, no, or I don't know. We have to make sure.
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
Yes.
Who's forcing you to do this?
You won't tell me what the offer was on the other side.
All right, I'm not going to resolve this case today. I don't think this is freely and voluntarily. So let him go before his division judge tomorrow, $250 each.
Judge, I know he did advise me he is homeless, and at this time there's no one that could post a monetary bond. Would the court consider releasing him ROR?
No, let him go before Judge Wren tomorrow. Thank you. Joseph Curtis.
Mr. Curtis, come on up, please.
Welcome back, Mr. Curtis.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, so you have a charge of trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance, $25 bond. And then you have a capious misdemeanor for failure to obey a police officer, $250 bond. Court finds probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the CVS pharmacy located at 1700 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. I can tell you this PC affidavit is not favorable for your client on his choice of words. So, court finds probable cause, total bonds $275. What say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, just being Mr. Curtis, he wishes to resolve this matter today.
Your Honor, state's offer is 15 days. As the court's aware, Mr. Curtis just keeps coming through here. He keeps disregarding Your Honor's orders to stay away, law enforcement officers' orders to stay away. And my biggest concern here, not just the language, but that according to this, he's screaming at customers. We're just trying to shop.
And he has an active trespass warning on file already. Yeah, 15 days, Broward County Jail. Credit for time served. It's going before Judge Carpenter Toy tomorrow at 9 a.m. How many?
Judge, respectfully, he does not accept the state's offer. Would Your Honor, he is homeless, there's no one that can post his monetary bond. Would Your Honor consider releasing him ROR?
No. He has a capious. Let him go before Judge Toy tomorrow. Thank you. Tony Tetrault.
Conti.
Thank you. Mr. Tetrault, you have an ad charge. It's a capious felony petty theft. Bond set at $750. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Mr. Tetrault has two no bond violation, or a no bond violation hold on count 2, Judge. I'd ask you to leave the bond in place.
Yes?
I thought he might have private counsel.
All right, so we'll leave your bond in place, sir. You have 2 no bond holds. Thank you. Luck to you. Billy Head. I don't know why this one didn't go up to Judge Collier today, but Billy Head.
He's here, President Judge at Maine.
Maine Jail. Mr. Head, you have an out-of-state hold. Oh, that's why. For a felony, you have a no bond hold. It says out of Georgia. We'll see you in extradition court Tuesday or Thursday at 1 p.m. if we haven't seen you already. And you have a violation of probation for a felony. You're going before Judge Collier tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. You're going to be held no bond on that as well. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Colin Smith, please. Colin Smith, step up.
Mr. Smith, come on up, please.
And then after him is Hadley Augustine and John Macris.
Hold on, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Smith is represented by Hilliard Moldoff in count 1. I left a message earlier. I have not heard back.
Well, Your Honor, I can advise the court. I have been speaking with Clark Strandell, who shares office space with Mr. Moldoff. Mr. Moldoff is on a plane right now. I believe I'm waiting to hear back from Mr. Strandell. He may be coming in to just handle this ad charge. I was advised he has an Arthur hearing scheduled for next Tuesday.
Who's your attorney?
The top count's
We
attempted.
have it, we have it covered.
The top count's attempted murder. So
Okay, what about Strandell? What's his first name?
beautiful timing.
There he is.
We were just talking about you.
Hey, Judge, how are you?
Good.
We had to stop.
And your client's right here.
No, it's Mr. Moldoff's client, Your Honor. This is.
All right, let me just read the charge at least.
Yes, Judge.
All right, sir, you have a KPS felony. Court does find probable cause. It's for an ad charge for a firearm by a felon. It's a no bond hold for magistrate. Supposedly he has other no bond holds. He has an Arthur hearing set next week.
Correct.
Yeah, count one's attempted murder, Your Honor. He's he previously found proof evident of presumption grade, held no bond on that charge. I spoke with Mr. Strandell earlier. In light of the charge on count one, I was going to be requesting a $10,000 bond on this count.
All right, what say you, Mr. Strandell?
That's fine, Judge. And he's set for the Arthur hearing Tuesday in front of Judge Colro.
Okay, $10,000 bond. Thank you, sir. Good luck
Judge.
to
Good
you.
to see you.
You'll see Judge Colra next week on your bond.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Strandell. Talk to you soon. Hadley Augustine. And after Mr. Augustine, good morning, is John Macris. All right, Mr. Augustine, you have charges as well. Burglary, dwelling unarmed. You need to talk about bond. Then you have a petty theft first degree between $100 and $300. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials MJE. And court's also going to order no return to 4199 Southwest 67th Avenue in Davie, Florida. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $10,000 bond. That's the bond that has been previously set on his other burglary dwellings.
Okay.
He's also being held no bond on a robbery with a deadly weapon or firearm.
He also has private counsel, Your Honor.
I wish someone would have let me know that before we did all of this, but go ahead.
He's represented by Erickson and Reynoso. I've left several messages for them this morning. I have not yet heard back.
Do you know the name of the specific attorney?
Yeah, I believe it's Robert Erickson.
What's his phone number, please?
754-216-4981.
Does your attorney know that you are coming to magistrate court today, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let me try to get him on the phone, all right?
We have a fellow by the name of James Collins in magistrate court this morning. He says that you guys represent him. He's charged with battery on a person.
Is it Robert Erickson, sir? Okay, the mic is off, so.
And Louis Reynoso.
Thank you for calling the law offices of Louis Reynoso and Robert Erickson. We aren't able to take your call at the moment. Please leave a message and we will return your call as soon as possible. Gracias por llamar a las oficinas de Luis Reynoso y Robert Erickson. En este momento no estamos disponibles. Por favor, deje su mensaje y te devolvemos la llamada lo más pronto posible. Gracias.
Yes, hi, this is Judge Malika calling from Magistrate Court. I have a Hadley James Augustine in front of me for burglary, unoccupied dwelling, unarmed, and petty theft. Apparently, there are ad charges. If you could appear in Magistrate Court at 201 Southeast 6th Street in the New Tower Courthouse, the WW4155 at 1 p.m., we'd appreciate it. We'll reset your client's case to then. Thank you. All right, I left a message. I'm going to reset it to 1 o'clock, okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. John Macris, please.
Conti?
That one's a reset. Okay. Conti, please. Okay. Okay, Mr. Macris, you have petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense, $750 bond. This is an ad charge. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return to the J.C. Penney at 1600 Northeast 23rd Street in Pompano Beach. If you go back there, sir, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, hold on, don't say anything. We have Mr. Reedy, who's here in the courtroom representing you. What say you, defense? Do you have an opportunity to speak to your
You know, I
client?
really didn't, Judge. I did not have a chance to talk to him. I noticed he's got a $1,000 bond on count 1, which
Do
is
you
a
want an
grand theft.
opportunity to talk to
But
your
yeah,
attorney?
let me have a moment with him.
All right, so we'll recall it. Sir, go to your left. Mr. Reedy's gonna call you, okay? All right, Eason Miller? Who's the next one at the main jail, Mr. Romero? While Mr. Reedy's on the phone.
So hold on. Judge, Mr. Easton Miller, from what I see here, it's a VOP.
Is he there? No?
He's not here. So the next gentleman would be here at me, Frank Jordan.
Hold on, let me see. Eason Miller, it's Judge Shear. All right, I don't know why this is here. So, it's Judge Shear, actually. So delete him from the docket. Luis Hernandez.
Your Honor, it's a 94806, so your Honor needs to find probable cause.
Okay, give it back. So he's not here. He's in front of, where is he?
I couldn't tell you where they brought him. I just know the reason this does come before you is because it's on a 94806, based on his previous arrest that the court found probable cause for.
All right, so he's on probation for grand theft, and they're saying he was arrested for committing the offense of possession of a controlled substance and sell or manufacture or deliver codeine. Where is that charge?
It was already heard, Your Honor, over the
When?
weekend. I believe, I have to check, Your Honor, to get the exact date.
Well, how could it have been if it says that's the day he was arrested?
Because he came in for his first appearance on those counts, Your Honor.
It says on December 4th, which is yesterday. The
He was
above
arrested.
subject was arrested.
He was arrested December 2nd.
That's not what it says here, so honestly, I can't find probable cause for it then.
Your Honor, it's a Scrivener's error. I can provide you with a copy of, one moment, I can provide you with a copy of the findings from December 2nd. It's for those charges.
Okay? Why didn't they do a 94806 then?
The arresting officer might not have realized that he was on probation at the time here.
Well, who put it on for a 94806?
The officer had charged him.
Wouldn't it have been easier to go to Judge Shear?
No, Your Honor, because then they have to notify a probation officer has to prepare a warrant.
The jail had charged you. He was seen before Your Honor on Monday.
Okay. All right, so he's gonna be held no bond, court finds probable cause. But where is he?
I imagine he's probably before judge.
All right, they need to bring him to me. Reset.
Yeah,
They're doing it now?
yes.
Okay, no problem. Luis Hernandez Leva.
North Broward, Judge.
North Broward, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you have driving while license is suspended, habitual $750 bond. Count 2 is a writ of arrest, not for magistrate, $500. And then you have 2 out-of-county holds for felonies. You have no bond holds on those. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Hernandez Leva indicated to me that if he has access to his phone, he can contact some relatives, and they should be able to come up with a bond on count 1 and 2 so that he can take care of his out-of-county holds.
Okay.
So I'd ask the court to sign a phone order. I'm also going to try and locate his brother-in-law through his place of employment
Okay.
to see if I can help out there.
No problem. We'll leave the bonds in place.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's go back to Conti. John Macris. Did you have enough time to talk to your attorney, Mr. Reedy?
Yes, I am.
All right. So what say you, Mr. Reedy? I have no return to J.C. Penney. What say you with regard to the $750 bond?
Judge, Mr. Macris did provide me with the number of a friend he thinks might be able to post that for him, but his main concern is trying to get some help for his drug problem.
Mm-hmm.
So he had suggested to me maybe the House of Hope might be appropriate. I can contact them and see if we can do that. I know it's somewhat of a convoluted process with them, but if we can get an application to Mr. Macris, he can fill it out, send it back to us. I may need to recruit Mr. Sanders to assist me in that matter, but I advise Mr. Macris it can take some time to get into House of Hope, and he's indicated to me he doesn't have a problem with that. He would also like the court to consider ordering him into the SAP program,
Sure.
or
You
recommending
want
that
to
he
do
go
a
to the
custody to custody order to House of Hope?
I can.
Or, all right.
But
why
I don't
we
know
just-
if they'll take him until he fills out the application and sends it back, so.
All right, so let's just I'll put a note on here, note, defendant is or will be applying. I would also do one for Bark evaluation, because sometimes the House of Hope might not be available. So why not get
That's
the
true.
ball rolling on Bark?
That's true.
Thank you.
All right, I'll get those orders to the court.
Because then I can do a custody to custody, which I don't know if the state has an objection, but, okay, all
Well,
right. So we'll leave it at 750 for now. I just put a note on here,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
okay?
Would
Frank,
that be as a condition of pretrial services, Judge?
I'm just gonna leave his bond in place. I put a note, so bring him back. Sir, you gotta do a thing on the kiosk that you wanna come back to magistrate court or contact the public defender once you filled out your applications. Your attorney, Mr. Reedy, in the courtroom today is gonna do an application for House of Hope. That's gonna get sent to you, and also that you be screened by Bark.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
Your Honor.
so there's two
Thank
of
you very
them.
much.
Because House of Hope could be filled up, okay? Good
Okay.
luck.
Okay,
Thank
good
you
luck,
very
Mr.
much.
Macris.
Frank Jordan, please.
Mr. Jordan is here at Maine.
Okay, Mr. Jordan, you have touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is a no bond hold for probation or community control violation. You're going before your division judge, Judge Marina Garcia Wood, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Bond is set at $1,000 on the battery. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials TRH, and require you to maintain 500 feet minimum from TRH. What say you, defense?
Judge, considering there's a no bond hold on the felony probation case, I don't know if Your Honor would be inclined to reduce count 1 from $1,000 to $100.
No, it's a battery. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Lamar Brewster.
Mr. Brewster, come on up, please.
These are both resets?
Let's call Mr. Brewster and Mr. Marshall at the same time. Do we have Mr. Marshall at the main jail?
He's here, President Judge.
All right, they both have the same charges. So Mr. Brewster and Mr. Marshall, who's Brewster? Thank you, sir. All right, sir, so you have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. Need to talk about bond for counts 1, 2, and 3. Same thing for Mr. Marshall. Count 4 is trespass, unoccupied structure, or conveyance. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, for Mr. Brewster with the alleged victim with the initials DDP and KP and TG. And for Mr. Marshall, I'm going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with DDP, JTV, and with KP. Court's also going to order no return to the Enclave Apartments located in Deerfield Beach. What say you, State? We'll start with you.
Your Honor.
Let's start with Lamar Brewster first, if it's different.
Yes, Your Honor. On Mr. Brewster, he has no history. I am going to be requesting $1,500 bonds on counts 1 through 3 on each, just based on the fact that this involved multiple vehicles in this community.
Okay.
Do you want me to proceed to Mr. Marshall or?
Yeah.
Okay. On Mr. Marshall, I'm going to be requesting bonds in the amount of $5,000 per count. That is based on first his adult history out of Palm Beach County, possession. It looks like he has a. Just got to confirm this. Let's see if it's still pending. Yeah. Okay. He has an open uttering a forged instrument out of Palm Beach County and an open trespass of a conveyance in Palm Beach County. Both those arrests, looks like both of those arrests were last month. He also has, his priors include possession of marijuana from February of this year in Palm Beach, grand theft auto, possession of marijuana last year in Palm Beach, resisting an officer without violence, burglary of a structure or conveyance, grand theft of a credit card, burglary of a structure or conveyance, 2016 in Palm Beach. Additionally, as a juvenile, he has violent priors and a like offense to previously to the charges he stands before the court on.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a registered gang member. Nothing further, Judge.
Okay. What say you, Mr. Romero? Let's start with Mr. Brewster.
Judge, as you heard, Mr. Brewster has a clean record. He's 19 years old, been here his whole entire life. He lives in Delray Beach with his mother. His mother supports basically him and his 2 siblings. He is currently working. He works at the Dollar Tree. He's been there employed for 8 months, making approximately $10 an hour. Besides that, he is going to school. He goes to Palm Beach State, where he's studying business management. He's currently going to school this semester, taking 12 credits. So he's working and going to school, and he manages to pay for his school through financial aid, Judge. Judge, my understanding is there was another third individual involved, in which that third individual, I haven't had an opportunity to review the PC, gave basically a full confession to the detective and acknowledged that basically Mr. Brewster and Mr. Marshall didn't have anything to do with this. But Judge, that's going to be for a later date. I'd ask you to consider strong ties to the community, his lack of a criminal record, his financial resources, the fact that his mom is basically supporting his 2 younger siblings. So I'm going to be asking an ROR on Mr. Brewster's behalf. If the court's not comfortable with that, then I'd ask for a straight monetary bond of $500 on count 1, $500 bond on count 2, $500 bond on count 3, and ROR on count 4. So that would be a total of $1,500 on Mr. Brewster's behalf, Judge.
Who's the third co-defendant? Hold on one moment. Who's the third co-defendant?
His name is. No, he's not. Daniel Marshall. Your Honor, I'm looking at his age. He's not going to be before you. He was born in 01.
Is Daniel Marshall brothers with Maurice?
The defense would have to.
All right, well. All right, so go ahead and let's take care of Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Marshall, Judge, he's 20 years old, been living in South Florida his whole entire life. At the not working, but he said he's actively looking for work. He lives in Delray Beach with his mother, and his mother basically also supports him and has 4 siblings. Right now, his mom is not working. She received child support, and that's how she just manages to pay for the bills, the rent. The rent is approximately $700 per month. Judge, I'm going to be asking on Mr. Marshall's behalf $1,000 bond on count 1, $1,000 bond on count 2, $1,000 bond on count 3. Those are all third-degree felonies. I asked the court to consider an ROR on count 4, so I am asking for a total of $3,000 bond on Mr. Marshall's behalf.
Well, I don't know if Mr. Marshall and Daniel Marshall, Maurice and Daniel are siblings. I'm going to order, unless you tell me otherwise, no code of... They are? Do they live in the same house? All right, well...
He lives apart from his younger brother, Judge.
Okay. All right, well, I'll just make it easy. For Lamar Brewster, I'm going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with DDP, KP, and TG, no return service Enclave Apartments, and no contact with the co-defendant who's standing next to you, Mr. Maurice Marshall. Court is not going to require a bond. However, the court is going to do a GPS open schedule. What time does your client work and go to school? The latest per day.
Judge, he goes to school Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to about 1 p.m.
Okay, and when does he work?
Right when school is over with, he goes to work, and he works from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And he was advising me on Saturday he has only 1 class, and I was trying to get the hours of that one class on Saturday.
Okay. Go ahead.
What's the time on that class on Saturday? 9 till 12 noon? 9 to 11. Yes, 3 hours. 9 to 10. 9 to 12, Judge, on Saturday.
All right, I'm going to do a GPS open schedule. He's going to have a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Maurice Marshall. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims, DDP, KP, JTV. No return to the Enclave Apartments in Deerfield Beach, Florida. No contact with the co-defendant, Lamar Brewster, GPS level 2. Court's going to do a $3,000 bond on 1, ROR on 2, 3, and 4. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Adler Philisant.
Mr. Philisant, come on up, please.
Mr. Philisant, you have aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Open schedule. The first one's an open schedule. The first one's an, yeah. Mr. Brewster's an open. Okay, Mr. Philisant, you have aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is battery, cause bodily harm. You have a no bond hold. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $10,000 bond on count 1, a $2,500 bond on count 2. Noting the allegations, first, that this involved 2 separate incidents on the same date. I would also note it appears this is dating violence. Mr. Philisant has been arrested twice before on allegations of dating violence. He was arrested, dating violence and or domestic violence. 2014, he was arrested for domestic violence battery against someone that had just ended a relationship. That case was dropped. 2012, he was arrested for domestic violence battery against his biological sister and stepsister. Those charges were dropped. In 2011, he was convicted of burglary of a dwelling. He was sentenced to a year in a day state prison. Resisting without violence, 2011.
What's the alleged victim's initials in this case?
One moment, Judge. DW.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, when was the alleged date of incidence on these matters?
May 27, 2018.
Thank you, Judge. My understanding, Mr. Filicon is basically kind of have a record for the past about 3 years. He's 26 years old. He is working. He's working at a restaurant called Villaggio's Italian Restaurant, in which he's a busboy / waiter. He makes about $5 plus tip. Judge, he lives in Margate with his roommate. His share of the rent is approximately $500. Now, he did give me the phone number of his brother to see if he can help post his monetary bond, but he doesn't think that he can afford what the state is suggesting. Judge, I'm going to be asking you on count 1 for a $2,500 bond, and on the misdemeanor battery on count 2, I'd ask for an ROR. So the defense is asking for a total of $2,500 on Mr. Philisaint's behalf.
Okay, the court has a concern for the safety of his victim. It says he beat the victim with an umbrella and then came back later on in the day when he again became upset with her and punched her one time in the face, which caused a large bump and a black eye, and then he grabbed her, and it goes on for there, and drags her out of the apartment. So court's going to do no victim contact, direct or indirect, with DW, and maintain 500 feet minimum. No return to 841 Northwest 6th Avenue, Pompano Beach. Maintain 1,000 feet from there. I am going to do a GPS level 2. Court's going to do a $5,000 bond on 1, $2,500 bond on 2. So total is $7,500. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, I apologize. In an abundance of caution, I'd ask for an additional release condition of no firearms, weapons, or
Okay,
ammunition.
no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If you can write that on there, Madam Clerk. Thank you. Vashon Burgess. Is he a convicted felon?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Burgess is here present, Judge.
Main jail. Okay, Mr. Burgess, you have possession with intent to sell, manufacture, deliver cannabis, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, no bond required. 3, 4, and 5 are violations of probation or community control. You are going before Judge Marina Garcia Wood tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, he does have a no bond hold. I just asked the court to consider reducing from $1,000 to $100 on count 1.
Your Honor, considering he's on probation for burglary of an occupied dwelling, I'd ask that the bond be kept in place. Actually, he's on probation for 3 separate cases.
Says he's a possible violent offender of special concern. What's his prior history?
He qualifies because of the burglary of a dwelling, Your Honor. But also noting 2 of the cases he's on probation for is essentially the same offense that he stands before the court on today.
Tell you what, I'm going to ROR him on that charge, but I am going to do a GPS open schedule. Curfew, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Michael Haggard. Well, this is, this seems to go together.
Yes, Judge, and count 1 is a residue case.
I understand. All right, Mr. Haggard, you have possession of THC, $1,000 bond. You have a municipal ordinance violation as well, which the public defender is going to represent you on that. That's for an open container. Court does find probable cause.
It's not residue, Your Honor. There was liquid there. It's just...
What say you, State?
Yeah, there was liquid. Liquid's not residue.
He lives in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I just have to check, Your Honor, if there's anything outside of Broward.
259 Church Avenue, Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Okay.
That doesn't mean there isn't anything. It just means... Your Honor, I have to put his information in the system. I don't know if you want to inquire of the defense while I'm doing that.
Judge, I'm just waiting to have the state confirm what he told me as far as his history, so.
What did he tell you?
Turns out, I want to see what the state says, Judge. But I'm gonna be asking for an ROR on this THC. He did apply for the public defender. I did advise him. He's only he's been down here for vacation. Unfortunately, just lost his job bartending, so he took a couple of days to come over here to visit a friend. He's traveling back to Pittsburgh. I did advise him he's gonna have a future court date here.
How much money can he bond out? How much, he can't afford to pay $100 bond?
Right now, he gave me the phone number of his friends. This friend lives in Pittsburgh, my understanding with bondsmen. I guess if they're out of state, they can't sign, so they usually don't have them pay just the 10%. It's going to be closer to what the amount is. So I'm going to ask for an RO and the alternative, a reduction to $100.
Mr. Haggard, what kind of car do you own?
I don't own a car.
What's your, do you live in the city of Pittsburgh?
Yes.
All right. How much do you pay for rent?
$249 a month.
What do you do for a living?
I bartend, but I was taking time off I quit my job so I could travel for a little while. Then I was going to go back and start looking for work this next week.
How much money do you have in the bank?
I've got, I think, $60 left. I was supposed to fly back to Pittsburgh tonight at 7:30.
No history, Your Honor.
Also, the report indicates that Mr. Haggard was
Doesn't
very
matter.
cooperative and had a
ROR.
good attitude.
Thank you, sir. Show up for court. Levon Gibbs.
Mr. Gibbs, come on up, please.
Mr. Gibbs, grand theft auto, $1,000 bond, count 2 is used, display, etc., weapon during felony, under indictment, $5,000 bond, possession of weapon or ammo by a convicted Florida felon. We need to talk about bond, burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. Same thing, grand theft, between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Any objection to probable cause?
I'm not sure where the probable cause for count 5 comes in. I see a grand theft auto and the use and display of a weapon. I'm not so sure I see probable cause for count 2.
So you're saying 2 and 5?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, what say you, State?
One moment, Your Honor. The allegation in the second report is that he stole a black Mini Apple iPad from the front seat of the victim's Ford F-150.
Do you have a second report? Mr. Reedy?
No, I do not.
All right. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the 2 alleged victims with the initials ES and GD. Okay. Any objection, Mr. Reedy?
Not to count 5, Judge. I still think the probable cause on count 2. It appears to, taking the evidence in the light most favorable to the state, that Mr. Gibbs tossed the weapon to the passenger, but it doesn't it's not clear to me that Detective Hodgson actually saw that happen.
Well, first off, Your Honor, my understanding under the case law, possession is covered under the term use, and I believe this officer was, one moment. Your Honor, the officer writing the PC is allowed to rely on a fellow officer rule and is allowed to rely on information that's provided by Detective Hodgson.
Here you go. Okay, so, any response?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so court finds probable cause. What say you, State?
One moment, Your Honor.
Need bonds for 2 and 4. I'm sorry, 3 and 4.
Okay. On count 3, I'm requesting a $5,000 bond. On count 4, I'm requesting a $5,000 bond. Your Honor, I would note in Broward it is a 2017. 2017 loitering and prowling. In that case, he was alleged to. He and a co-defendant were going through shrubs onto someone's backyard. The arresting officer had concerns that they were acting together to possibly commit a burglary. 2016 grand theft auto. He violated probation, was sentenced to 364 days county jail. 2016 burglary of a dwelling and grand theft with a violation of probation, 364 days county jail. 2016 dealing in stolen property, burglary of a conveyance. Check back 2017, Palm Beach right there. Violated probation, 364 days county jail. I'm showing, go to progress docket. Progress docket. Oh my God. Your Honor, when I check in CCIS, I'm showing an open loitering and prowling from 2017. Looks like he failed to appear at a hearing in June of 2017, and a total bond of $4,000 was set on a capias. I don't know if that capias was ever put in the system, though. Nothing further, Judge.
Say you, defense.
Judge, what the state, as far as Jeff said, is a bond amount. That's something Mr. Gibbs can't afford, nor his family. He's 21 years old, been living in South Florida his whole entire life. He's working. He works at a super value distribution center, which is a warehouse, which distributes, I guess, produce and stuff to various supermarkets. He lives in Tamarack with his girlfriend. Their monthly rent is $1,100. Judge, right now she is working. She works for a telemarketing company. And so he's going to reach out to both his girlfriend and his mother, who's a caretaker, to help post his monetary bond. Judge, what I'm going to be asking for is on count 3, $1,000 bond. And on count 4, I'm going to be asking for a $2,000 bond. So if I do the math, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it'd be a total of $10,000 bond on Mr. Gibbs' behalf. I would say that's reasonable considering what Mr. Lunder pointed out as far as Mr. Gibbs' history.
What's your client's work hours?
$6 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Oh.
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with ESGD. No return to 1179 Northwest 97th Drive, Coral Springs, and 9651 Southwest First Court, Coral Springs, Florida. I want him to maintain 500 feet minimum from both those addresses. It shouldn't be a problem since he lives in Tamarack. GPS open schedule. He's going to have a daily curfew of 8 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. Court's going to set his bond 1,000 on 1, 1,000 on 2, 1,000 on 3. Count 4, I'll do a $500 bond, and count 5, I'll do a $500 bond. So that's a total of $4,000 total. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Zachary Whittener, and he's got to pay his bond before they'll outfit him.
Yes, sir. Mr. Whittener, bonded.
Thank you, Mr. Romero. Next one is James Collins, please. Pardon?
Mr. Collins, he's approaching judge, and I believe he declined the services of public defender.
Okay. Mr. Collins, good morning, sir. You understand? Do you have a private attorney?
I will have, yes, Your Honor.
All right, you understand, sir, that you're going to be representing yourself today. If you can't afford an attorney or you're not able to get one, you can fill out an application and use the public defender.
I'd like to do that.
Okay, so why don't you do that? So, Mr. Collins, you have battery on a person 65 years of age or older. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact with the alleged victim with the initials. Is it HD or DH? HD. What are we going to do here, Mr. Linder? It appears that this is a security guard. There was something about the clubhouse. He's assigned to work at the Century Village Clubhouse. So I'm going to tell you, you're no return to the Century Village Clubhouse. As long as HD is employed there.
And, Your Honor, the only thing I would request is just be no victim contact unless it's related to a security matter at Century Village.
Well, it says this gentleman is assigned to, so you might want to call them up to the clubhouse.
Yeah, and I would say that, I mean, well...
I'm just saying if you want, that's up to you. That's what it says in the PC. So, what say you with regard to bond?
Judge, my understanding this is... Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let Mr. Wells.
That's okay. Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $2,000 bond.
Go ahead, defense.
Judge, I was just getting certain information from Mr. Collins. Right now, as you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, he's a little bit nervous. This is the first time he's kind of gone through this. He's a registered voter here in Broward County. I don't mean to make light of the situation, but I understand why it's a felony because it's a person 65 or older. Mr. Collins is 65. He's retired. He gets Social Security. He lives at that complex, Century Village. And because of if the state can confirm he has a clean history, I'm going to be asking for an ROR. Or in the alternative, Judge, he advises me he could go ahead and pay the $2,000 bond. However, Judge, he's presumed innocent, but he has no prior contact. He's not going to be going back to the clubhouse. He knows during the pendency of this case. So, Judge, we're asking for the court to first consider a straight ROR.
Your Honor, and I want to advise the court, I'm only bringing this up because Mr. Romero represented the court. That this is the first time Mr. Collins has gone through anything like this. I'm showing he has, in 2016 in Palm Beach County, a battery on a victim over the age of 65. That was dropped. In 2016, he was arrested for a misdemeanor battery in Palm Beach County, and he was found not guilty. He's also had multiple DUIs out of New York State. So it would appear this is not the first time he's had to go through something like this.
All right, I'm going to leave the bond at $2,000. No return to the Century Village Clubhouse as long as HD, the alleged victim, is employed at Century Village as a security at the clubhouse. No victim contact with HD unless it's a security matter. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Ramon Rodriguez.
He bonded.
Larry Bomsey.
Judge, I'm sorry, Mr. Collins, would you sign an order allowing him access to his phone so he can contact his friend's family?
No problem at all. No problem, my pleasure. Larry Bombsey. How do you say your last name?
Bombsey.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bombsey, you have possession of THC and possession of cannabis over 20 grams, $1,000 bond. What's his prior state?
His last prior was a possession of cannabis in 2013 in Dade County.
ROR on each one. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Brian Higgs.
Mr. Hicks, come on up.
Mr. Higgs, you have possession with intent to sell, manufacture, and deliver cannabis, 2,500. Same thing for, cocaine, 2,500. Cannabis, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Total bond is 3,500. What's his priors?
One moment, Your Honor.
This is the co-defendant of the other gentleman, where the owner has surveillance and told him not to go back there. What's the
Yes,
name
it
of this place?
It would appear so. I believe it was a laundromat.
Oh, 44th Street?
I believe it was a coin laundry. I see no history.
Sir, no return to the 44th Street coin laundry. That includes the parking lot, the bus stop, the sidewalk, the entire plaza, sir. If there's a bus stop there, find another one. Okay?
Okay, I understand.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, considering he has no history, I'm asking for a straight ROR.
And you have no objection?
Your Honor, I would ask for some, because these are the top counts of second-degree felony, I would ask for some supervision with pretrial.
We'd prefer, if Your Honor is not inclined, straight ROR.
I'm not going to do a straight ROR with crack cocaine. 7 rocks.
Then I'd ask for a $500 bond on count 1, Judge.
All right, 1,000 on 1, 1,000 on 2, 2,000 total. Thank you, sir. James Horgan. Yes, he is. No pick. Then we have Clarence Barber, please.
No problem, John.
Thank you for your patience, Deputy McCoy. All right. So, Mr. Barber, you have burglary of a dwelling, structure, or conveyance armed. You have a no bond hold. Count 2 is petty theft, second degree. First offense, $25 bond. Count 3 is possession of methamphetamine, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause.
Your Honor, we
You
discussed.
said not armed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's not armed. Yeah, yes, it's not armed, Judge.
We discussed that.
There's no pick on here too, you know, by the way.
And yeah, it was because it was a medical loan yesterday. Usually, they print up a new PC.
All right, there's no return, sir, to the Pet Lodge at 930 Northwest 31st Avenue in Pompano Beach, Florida. If you go back there, you will be arrested, and there's no contact with any employee at the Pet Lodge.
Thank you, Deputy.
Okay, what say you, State?
One moment, Judge. Your Honor, first I would, I'm going to be requesting a $5,000 bond on count 1. I would note he was just arrested over the weekend on a capias on a municipal ordinance trespass. December 1st, he pleaded out and was released. I'd have to check, Your Honor.
Don't say anything, Mr. Barber.
Because it was on a capias, so I'd have to pull the original report.
Okay.
No, it looks like that was at a different location. I would also note he's got at least 2 trespasses on state priors this year already. Those are both at a 7-Eleven. My concern is he's trespassing at other businesses, other structures, and now it appears he's progressed to breaking into one.
He had the fuse handle in his pocket. All right. So 5,000 on one. What say you, defense?
Mr. Barber's not going to be able to make any kind of monetary bond, Judge.
Does he want to go to a program or something?
He indicated to me he does not have a problem with drugs.
He doesn't?
He does not have a place to live. He has a friend named Larry that I can call to try and see if he can post his bond. I'd ask the court for a very low bond for Mr. Barber, otherwise he's not going to be able to bond out.
2,500 on one, ROR on two, 1,000 on three. No return and no contact with anybody at the pet lodge, and GPS level 2. Thank you, sir. And also, hold on. I'm also going to do no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at his expense. Tell you what, I'll do ROR on 3 as well. So $2,500 bond total. Did you hear that? 25 on 1, ROR on 2 and 3. No alcohol or intoxicants, random testing. Prescription medication is allowed as prescribed.
All right, I'll call Larry, Clarence, and see what he can do to help you out, okay?
Thank you.
Judge, we have Mr. Miller here at me.
Thank you, Deputy McCoy. Okay, Eson Anthony Miller, please.
Yes.
All right, sir, you have a probation violation or community control. Apparently you were arrested. We magistrated you the other day on the possession of the alprazolam Xanax for a $1,000 bond and possession with intent to sell, manufacture, or deliver your $2,500 bond. Your father supposedly was supposed to bond you out. There is an ad charge. It's a violation of probation. It's a 94806 hold. So Mr. Romero will explain that to you. You are going before your division judge, Judge Elizabeth Shear, tomorrow. So you'll be held no bond pending that hearing. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Judge, he's also on our second look docket this afternoon.
For what?
The arrest on the charges you had a first appearance for on Monday.
All right, well,
Judge, can we delete it since he's being held in no bond?
Sure, let's delete him. Can we get him
Okay.
deleted?
Just make a mental note.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck to you.